let's get away from the word obsession. Start using the word passion.
At least Fa's cute, unlike some other characters.
She is okay.
Also, the adventures of Peter Bear and Shrine Miko.
It's like, who the fuck watches anime and emulates it in this way? I want to know who watched Akira and then thought they could drive a motorcycle and like, you know, beat on people and shit.
I recommend Photokano. It's really good. I mean, I like
It might actually be
too.
a bad thing for me to watch Photokano when I'm getting into photography because I might get ideas.
Take pictures of girls.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what they're talking about, but I can tell they're really into it. Tom Force, you hear this?
Okay, gods. VC Mark II.
You're listening to NTR Radio.
Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
And I am VC Mark II.
Dun, dun, dun. For those tuning in, we were having some technical difficulties, as per usual.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, yep.
I'm telling you, their first mistake was letting us have internet connections and microphones.
Oh, for sure.
They could have stopped it right there, but they decided not to, and now they have to try weather patterns and mysterious microphone issues.
Yes. It's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle of podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That's weird.
The compasses start going batshit and...
You want a new tagline? There's your new tagline. The Bermuda Triangle of podcasts.
There you go.
Next time on Ancient Aliens. Why does this podcast always run into trouble?
It's funny because that guy's hair gets more and more messed up every season. Have you noticed that? Like his hair gets increasingly psychotic looking every new season.
It's the aliens.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly. I mean, clearly they're holding like magnets to his hair follicles. Or maybe that's just me. In any case, we're here.
Yeah. So here's what you do.
Okay, yeah.
Join us in the IRC chat by going to the ntrradio.net or she'slostcontrol.net/podcast. Takes you to the same place regardless. Click on the chat link. Click on the chat link. Give yourself a nickname. Hit the button. Join us in the IRC channel. Alternatively, take your favorite IRC client and hit up irc.ryzen.net and join us in the # SOC media channel. Add us on Twitter at TEAnubis, at VZMK2, at classic_KGods, and at NTR_radio. And as always, you can get at us at the email box, ntrradio@gmail.com. I watched some stuff this week.
I'm looking at the looking in the chat. There's who misses the Cold War. We're pretty much living in it again, aren't we? I mean, just at least if the media, if you're listening to the media anyway.
Yeah, if you listen to the media.
Yeah, I mean, apparently we're basically just one drunken sneeze away from, the Korean Peninsula being part of the Pacific Ocean. Just,
does that mean action movies will be good again?
No. I really doubt that.
No global geopolitical conflict can make action movies good again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the sad thing is nowadays they're more interested in making sure they show them reloading their guns than
Which
it
I'm
actually
happy
being
about.
fun. Well, yeah, I mean, but that being said, you know what I mean when you're sitting there and there's somebody in the room pointing out every little mechanical or technical flaw, and you just want to smack them.
Well, I can understand that to an extent, but I'm just a gun guy.
Well, I know, but it would be like if you're watching, I don't know, Gundam or something, and somebody's pointing out like the tiniest of like off model.
Well, to be fair, that shit's also annoying in Gundam.
Okay,
that's why I appreciate CG in mecha anime, because you don't get that shit anymore.
Well, maybe it's just me then, because I fucking don't like when people are constantly talking during a movie, like, oh, you know, this, and that. It's like question times at the end of the seminar. But then again, that's me.
Speaking of Gundam, though, I got some stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's this little...
Are we going to be seeing some visuals here?
Yeah, you're going to be seeing some visuals there. There's this little hobby shop that's near where I live. And I haven't been there for quite a while, actually. But last time I've been there, they had a bunch. They carry Gundam models, and they've only started doing that the past couple years. Last time I'd been there, they had a lot of Seed models, and you know how I feel about Seed.
Yeah.
But I took a chance, went in there again, and found this thing.
Oh,
the Crossbone X1
very
version
nice.
KA Master Grade.
And in that
I'm
picture,
so in love. I'm so in love with the Crossbones design.
I was going to make a joke about. I was just going to totally make a joke about it, how it's Dutch because it's got a windmill on its back, but
the big cross, like,
but we already had
pack
a
on its back.
Gundam.
Yeah, we already have the Nether Gundam.
I was going to say, what do you mean, the death scythe when he's spinning it around? No.
But I got that, and I also got this thing came in. So as everyone knows, I run Shinikibo, which means I get anime figures. Like I buy anime figures. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I saw that these were on pre-order, I got one for myself, and I also have one that's going up for sale.
Is that what I think it is in the back?
What?
The Ghost in the Shell thing?
Oh yeah, the Ghost in the Shell manga.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that a while ago. But yeah, this Zero figure comes with interchangeable parts. You have 2 different Luge heads, the Zero mask, and a Suzaku head that I'm never going to use.
Yeah, but we know that because Suzaku fucking sucks.
Who made that?
That is Mega House, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's his Bandai's subsidiary for anime figures.
You should show off the Haro.
Yep. So the apple that was a big deal last episode is now a Haro.
Dun 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 dun.
With the magic of Sharpie marker.
Right. Yeah, the thing is over time you'll see it getting nasty.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, because
it's sitting in the same place for 2 weeks. So there's no way I'm gonna eat that.
And now it has a Sharpie on it, so.
Yeah, now it has permanent marker on it, which is a bad call.
Yeah. Tastes like chemicals.
Anyway, I did watch some stuff.
I did finish Nun Nun Biari.
Yeah.
I think you might have seen my posting about that. I'm actually going to. I'm probably going to get this. The next up, I'm supposed to watch Wolfsbane, so we'll see how I like that.
Did Drawing Girl put you for that one?
And if she did?
No, I'm just saying that's why you want to see it.
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's how I'm not watching.
I remember watching that a while ago. Was not particularly into it. But that's me.
Are you trying to probe me? We were talking about aliens earlier.
But yeah, I'm caught up with Eromanga Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
I'm caught up with Saikano Flat. I'm caught up with... Oh no, I'm 1 episode behind on Frame Arms Girl.
Right.
All three of those are fantastic. So far, Saikano Flat is anime of the season for me, though. The show is amazing.
I love the Arrow Manga Sensei jokes that have already started popping up.
Oh, yeah. I made a couple of them myself earlier today.
The Dix thing is what's cracking me up.
The Dix thing was hilarious, but it was really played up on Twitter, and it kind of it was underwhelming when I finally saw it, which just goes to show I probably shouldn't be perusing screenshots for anime I haven't seen yet.
Right.
I apologize for that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
But I do like the running off saying I'm gonna tattle to all my cute what was it? All my cute followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Is that like an ANN thing?
Yeah, exactly. When big name anime reviewers get shit talked on the internet.
How about dicks? Girls my age all love dicks.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yes, indeed.
I like someone. Wait. Someone on ANN in the review was complaining about like how they have Sagiri's butt like right to the camera.
You must be new here.
Have you watched anime?
Yeah, no. There's a rather tasteless scene early on where the camera suddenly lingers on Sagiri's butt.
Don't give them any more coverage, man.
Exposed in a suggested pose with, and I'm like, and that's a problem. Why?
It's like yes.
Two things here. One, the show's called Arrow Manga Sensei. If that's not a big enough, red flag for you, for anything, I don't know what to tell you. And two, I mean, how can you still be surprised at this point?
Yeah, it's like, how long have you been watching anime for? It's like, have you watched any works in the and recall this is the same publication where people are still 7 years on or emo.
I just call them. I like my new name for them, Anime Fake News Network.
Yeah, they were always more of an aggregate anyway. There's basically just like.
Well, I mean, it's really, really hard to fuck up the news. Their real problem is their editorial department, which hasn't really.
Which reflects the actual editorial department on news stations.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it hasn't really held its people to any standards in.
Put it this way.
It's 7 years.
Put it this way. There's not much of a jump between that and the Huffington Post. It's about equally as wince-inducing. Then again,
I would actually contend it's more wince-inducing because these are people who are ostensibly supposed to know something about this medium,
as opposed to bumfuck Egypt, somebody like
as opposed to some dude on the Huffington Post writing some article about something. You don't know what their level of expertise is. But
about
how Godzilla Sensei, it's supposed to. These people are supposed to have some sort of investment in this medium, and it's clear they do not.
I got a better one.
Like it's clear at least that 2 out of the 6 of these people who reviewed the first episode of this anime really don't take the medium seriously enough to give every show a fair shake.
I got a better one about anytime like Vice does something about anime.
If you're still reading Vice, though, you deserve what you get.
Well, I don't.
Here's the thing. It's people. Vice. Do you really expect Vice to know anything about anime? It's Vice.
They're too busy running exposés on pot.
It's like they just do whatever's sensationalist at the time. I'm talking. It's worse when you look at ANN because these are people who are ostensibly supposed to know a thing or two about this medium.
It's called Anime News Network.
Sailor Moon was so progressive in the 90s. And I'm
Really? That's not what I remember.
like,
In fact, I don't know anybody that was watching it beyond me.
I'm like, well, no, because that was actually one of their videos.
Okay.
It was like, Sailor Moon saved my life.
Again, do you expect Vice to actually know anything about this medium?
I mean, come on now. These are the same people that do the Weird Japan thing every other month.
Exactly.
And again, they have a channel that basically has 24/7 coverage on pot. I mean, come on.
So how are you drawing Frame Arm Girls?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like not my favorite of this season.
Well, certainly not my favorite, but it is very good. I'm still continuing with it at least.
Yeah. I'm also watching. I'm watching. I guess I'll talk about what I'm watching. Those two, Aramanga Sensei and Frame Arms Girl. Sorry. I'm watching Suki ga Kure, which I'm liking. Very very cute. And what's the other one? Hinako Note. That one I'm liking too.
Right. Did you keep following up on the Feel one?
Oh, that's the one, Suki ga Kure.
Okay, yeah. All right. I couldn't remember the name of it. I just remember that there was a title this season that you were kind of interested in.
Yeah.
Have they gotten naked yet? It's a Feel anime. I'm waiting.
Yeah. This is like at the if we're talking like relationship, like getting to what's like the term first base. This is like at the snail's pace level of getting to that, where now they're just chatting on the phone on the thing called Line.
Did she used to call you on her cell phone? That was terrible.
Where is the drop in? I can't find it.
He's sitting there. Yeah, I deserve that.
Hilariously enough, I know the person was there, but I don't know if he did that because there was a person who did a Drake costume.
Wait, what?
At AAC.
Really?
Yes. This isn't a joke, and I know that same person was there. I'm pretty sure he was also Drake at AB, but that's not my focus. He also did Prince.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. No, I'm pumped. You kidding me?
No, I mean, ouch, because it's been a year since he died.
Yeah, I know. He had a little thing there playing When Doves Cry.
Out, yeah. Hey, Charlie Murphy did too recently.
Oh yeah, Charlie Murphy's.
It's like too. someone protect Dave Chappelle.
They out here just killing everyone.
What's the other thing?
Same people trying to stop our podcast are killing all these celebrities.
But I think you know which one my favorite is. Come on, you should know me by now. You don't know me.
Neither of us are going to guess, VZ. You're not going to get either of us to guess this thing. Because I don't want to be wrong. And
Cinderella Girls Theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm so far outside the Idolmaster paradigm right now. I didn't even know that's airing.
I told you it was airing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to remember that when I'm not watching it. I haven't watched the preceding series, and I'm about the way through the preceding series to that.
Anyway, that's my favorite of the season, even though it's a short. It's actually two different shorts concurrently. I told you, where it's a 3-minute one. That's the one that airs on TV, and then a 1-minute one. That's the web one.
Right. I haven't started with this season yet. I mean, I will pretty soon here.
Yeah. I recommend the stuff we were watching. I think you'll like. Especially,
I recommend watch Saikano and then start on Saikano flat because this show is choice 100. The show is
see,
fantastic.
I couldn't get into that.
Don't sleep on Saikano.
I couldn't get into that.
I have no idea how you couldn't get into this show. It's amazing.
Even though I liked the thing done by the same light novel author, the one whose name I forgot. Fuck. No, it's not called fuck. Oh man. Oh no, God, what's the one? It starts with oh. Got my brain. I can't remember.
This is great radio. Can't remember.
Mission failed.
Shit. It's the one. I got it now. I got it. Arishura.
Okay, so you understand my strategy. I just spam failure drop-ins until you remember. Because because that always gets me to when I fuck up the pronunciation to something. I hit the rings drop in and I immediately remember how it's supposed to be translated. But here's my thing. I don't give a damn what the light novel author also did. I'm just saying Saikano is amazing. And I don't understand what's wrong with it. It's why you didn't like it.
But no, you need to see that one for one day. I need you.
Cool in the gang.
Here's why.
But I'm trying to find out why you didn't like Saikano. I'm curious about this.
I just found it boring. I just couldn't get into it.
What is it's? Are you kidding me? Fucking Utaha Kasumigaoka is gorgeous as hell. None of the characters have any chill whatsoever. They're all roasting each other constantly. Even the background character girl has just stare with the blankest expression possible and say the meanest possible thing to these other two girls. The dude's kind of an asshole because he friend zoned these two, because this is the story of Saikano. So he friend zoned these two girls because he's only into 2D.
Clearly, he's
then
an
he finds
MRA.
this other girl. Of course, no. Of course, he's a raging MGTOW. So he friend zones these two girls, and then goes through his life and he finds this background character and falls in love with his background character. And now they're all trying to make a game, but they're all dysfunctional and at each other's throats and roasting each other all the time. But they still make the game because they're all really professional at what they do and they're all really good. And Utaha Kasumigaoka is fucking gorgeous. She's repeating because she's fucking amazing.
Is that the older one?
That's the one that wears pantyhose all the time.
What's the one that's like the slightly older one?
That's her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same character.
Nothing wrong with pantyhose.
But
hey.
But with Orishura, you need to watch it because there's the one character I told you that once you see
I feel like I'm gonna watch Orishura now, and just to spite you, I'm gonna come back and say, wasn't into it.
Then you're gonna print out sheets of this one character, tape it up, and then take your airsoft, and then just go.
Don't preemptively tell me I'm gonna hate a character, and I'm not gonna watch it. So, you think I enjoyed watching Ayase Aragaki in Oriimo? I was not having a good time whenever she was on screen.
Like when you're saying that, it reminds me of the one guy who's doing the "Do you like anime? I like anime." It's like, do you see me? We were in this together, and you're fucking it up. Or he says something like that. Hopefully people out there listening know what the hell I'm even talking about.
I like Japan, period.
No, not that.
I know.
That's not funny.
Everyone listening to my voice needs to go back, watch Saikano, and then start on Saikano flat because this show is absolutely fantastic.
But in the non-anime, I'm continuing on my insane Sentai binge. I'm up to Mega Ranger, which is another one I saw in the 90s. And what's interesting about, well, first off, the first 20 episodes I kind of had to slog through because they were kind of meh. But after the 20,
wait, did you just say 12?
I said 20.
No, he said 20.
No,
there's no world
what?
in which Time Enforcer Anubis is going to slog through 20 episodes. That's like I'm gonna punch you in the face for 15 minutes and then give you $1.
Yeah, but each episode's only like 20-something minutes. It's okay because I know that later on it gets really awesome, which is the part that I saw when I was literally 20 years ago.
Honestly, I would just start at the point where it got awesome.
Yeah, but I want to see I'm watching them all from the beginning. And that's not terrible. I'm not saying they're terrible, just kind of standard.
Wait. Masochism achievement unlocked.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna. That's like when anyone's talking about the big three and say, "Oh, just need to get past the filler arc."
Wait, there's an arc.
I'm sorry. Filler what? The filler arc. There's an arc full of filler. Yes, sir. Yeah, okay.
Normally we call that a filler episode.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm usually doing browsing while I'm watching this stuff because I have a large screen.
So am I, but I'm watching stuff I enjoy.
I didn't say I don't enjoy this. I do. It's just, again, these.
You make it sound like you're getting an injection, though.
Yeah. I'm just saying the terminology was weird. Okay. The terminology was bizarre to me.
It's kind of icky. It gives me immunization.
20 episodes. I had to trudge uphill.
No man's land.
Both ways for 20 episodes before getting to the good part. It's like, okay, at that point,
I had to walk 15 miles.
We had to walk 15 miles uphill both ways, which is never a possibility. But go no.
Do people still?
I haven't heard that out. I haven't heard that outside of a cartoon in my entire life.
Yeah, like Rugrats or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But. What was I gonna say? Oh shit! Now you got me off track. No, but I'm almost done with that. I'm up to I'm up to 44, and it's 51 episodes.
So fully like 1/3 of the show was a slog, quote unquote.
It just was, and not bad. I don't mean like bad. It was just kind of standard, standard Super Sentai, blah, nothing special. It gets good at the 20 mark, is what I'm saying. But that's most Super Sentai. When
okay, I feel like you're just not gonna find me watching any Super Sentai show at that point because if that's like just a genre convention, I'm all set.
Okay, I'll change it. With the exception of Zhu Ranger, because that's awesome all the way through.
That only takes 17 episodes to get good.
No, that's good all the way.
No, you got to travel to Jerusalem to watch it first.
You have to sign up with the IDF.
Tel Aviv.
Okay, enough of the joke. You've kind of ran into the ground.
I still think it's hilarious, but go on.
No, but I was saying that was one. Anyway, Mega Ranger is the one that I watched kind of at the time that it was coming out, at the same time it was coming out in Japan. Like basically, since like I said, it was from 1997, and I saw some of it in 1997 before it was adapted for Power Rangers in Space. So that's kind of like why this one is special to me, because I saw it at the time that it was out rather than years after its airing.
Right. That makes sense.
I was never really somebody who watched those kind of things, mostly because when I was a kid and they were really popular, you'd got the shit beat out of you if you admitted it.
See, like among all my friends, Power Rangers was like the shit, but that was only during the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, aka Zhu Ranger era.
Well, the thing was, I had like watching this stuff. I had inkling like there was something cooler, and man, was it tough to like try to find the stuff in the '90s to get to watching.
I mean, after the Power Rangers era, I encountered something cooler, and that was called anime.
Oh, well, I knew anime.
Like, oh, hey, cool. Now, hey, Power Rangers. Okay, and I had back then I had no concept that Power Rangers was not something we made. Concept that this thing came from Japan.
So they did their job.
Yeah,
I knew,
they did their job.
I knew right away watching. Okay, there's something Japanese about something, because even the Megazord design looks very similar to Voltron or Go Lion because of the way the red, besides the combining concept, the way the limbs on both robots are both blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Coincidentally. Just coincidentally.
See, I don't even think I made that connection. Like I guess by the time I saw Voltron, like Power Rangers was already so far out of my head that I didn't really make that connection between the Megazord and the Voltron robot.
I just wanted the fucking sword. The foreign blazing sword. Come on. Even back then I didn't get into Voltron. I got into other My older
shows.
brother was really into it, so it kind of rubbed off on me. And it was like, and now I was thinking, there's got to be doujinshi of this, and I'm very frightened because I'm thinking of that fucking witch. I can't think of her name now, but with the
Haggard.
Yeah, exactly. with that like stereotypical voice.
Yes. No, I could tell Anubis what Sentai to watch that you will immediately be able to get into, and it doesn't all have to be an entire series. It could be some of the movies too.
See that I can do. I can do the movies.
You could, like I said,
it's not like I've never watched Super Sentai, like, because I watched that one movie where they got like all the Sentai teams together.
Yes, that's probably the one that there's several ones. It's either what's the one I have here? Shit. Oh, it's probably either this one, Go Kaiger, Go Sager, Super Sentai 199 Hero Great Battle.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
It's the one, whatever the one that
Go Kai, because I remember it's the because that's the Angel Sentai and the Pirate Sentai, right?
Yes, that's it. It's the one. It's the one where it's like the kid had the old robot toy, and it's like, see, and the lesson of the movie is if you save your old Sentai robot toys, it lends great power.
Yeah. No,
it's
does not happen in real life.
Capitalism
is collect dust.
It almost sounds like something somebody who's trying to sell you baseball cards or something would say.
I thought it was more of like, you know what? Capitalism is awesome. See, it literally tells you buy stuff. Okay, so there's that one.
I just like that at some point maybe watch Go Kaiger, however you pronounce that. Just on the Go Kaiger, just on the fact that the red, like Go Kai Red's name is Captain Marvelous. I have to watch something with that kind of what's the dude's name? Captain Marvelous.
There's that one.
I mean, first
now there's that one.
It also tells you that person is very fabulous.
There's that one to watch. There's the one one of the ones I saw in the 90s called O Ranger versus Cocker Ranger. That thing is fucking amazing, and also full of fan service. And all you need to know is also there's a monster with a licking fetish.
It's like one of those shorts from Tales of Titillation.
And there's a scene where the monster was licking one of the rangers, and then a high school girl comes and says, take me instead. I'll sacrifice and so he starts licking her. And then there's a part where they go into and I actually look up the name of the actual Ferris wheel that they're on. It's called the Big O Ferris wheel, and he turns into his human form, and his human form looks like Ronald McDonald, transvestite Ronald McDonald is basically the way I describe his human form. And he starts licking.
That's not a good endorsement.
And he starts licking the human girl. Not really. It's more like a sleight of hand, like type of, the camera angle, but it still looks. And remember, I saw this in the 90s. I'm just like, what am I watching?
Somehow the Golden Arches didn't consider this a good move.
It's one of those. I was like afraid to like someone else walking in that moment.
Like just imagine that character hanging out in the fucking ball pit, like popping out of there.
And the other crossover movie I recommend is Gal Ranger versus Super Sentai. That one's because that's actually the best one to go with, and here's why. Because a lot of it is just a clip show from previous Sentai. So it kind of gives you a lot of what makes it really what I like in a short amount of time.
Like the thing is there's so much crossover with this stuff. It makes Go Nagai's old robot shows look tame by comparison.
Oh yeah, and this thing,
Seriously.
and again, these things have been going on nonstop since the 70s.
Right.
Yeah. Which is impressive.
You gotta. I mean, it's like the Bold and the Beautiful of Japanese television or something.
Yeah. Although people speculate, like, is Super Sentai in danger because the modern ones don't pull in the ratings like they used to? Again, it is kind of very in tandem with like how well do the toys sell. Because it is part of that. It's really like the one of the last of like the old, like the whole, the show that runs the whole year, and the toys come out as they're introduced in the show. It really is like the old style.
That's like the whole. It's a relic of a past age, really.
Yeah, it's
Like,
one of the last.
We don't see that kind of show in anime. Like we'll see the toy commercial anime every now and again, but
the only one they do, the only one that I can think of for anime that does that is Gundam.
Frame Arms Girl toy commercial.
Well, yeah, but the models were already out. But I'm talking about more like how.
Yeah, but they're also you okay. You're not going to sit there and tell me they're not going to come out with more Frame Arms Girl products, as like if this show does well.
Oh, I know they will, but I'm talking about more like it's introduced like something it comes in like is shown in the show, and then buy the model kit, or buy the robot, so and it advertise it in commercial during the show. It's like such and such coming, like May 10th or something.
Just speaking of toy commercials, here's a Gundam observation I've picked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They still haven't armored the midsection.
Okay. I actually was about Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Oh, hey, cool. Did they armor the midsection yet?
That's not what I was talking about, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I was thinking, Cordelia is actually reasonably attractive.
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous.
She almost reminds me of what Lena would look like.
It'd be great if they armored the midsection so I could actually watch the show.
She almost reminds
that design bothers me. I'm sorry.
She almost reminds me of what Relena would look like if she was less I don't know. Well, that too. Come and kill me.
The dude threatens to kill you, and then you're chasing after them for the whole show. I'm not going to think you're very smart. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. She was actually she was much more obnoxious in the dub, though. At least in my opinion.
I don't much remember the dub of Gundam Wing except for that scene at the end of the first episode where Hiroyuri tears apart her birthday invitation, wipes the tears from her eyes, turns to her and says, "I'll kill you."
That's the only thing I remember from the dub.
While it's playing that music. Well, hey, no. There's plenty of great Zex Marquis lines when he fucking takes out the Wing Zero.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it's been years plural since I last saw the dub of the first episode of Wing. So because that Hiroyui moment is so etched into my mind, that's all I remember from the dub.
That's such a 90s edge.
I know Zex. Yeah, it really is.
Look how edgy it is. He's tearing up the love letter of the girl that likes him. He's so edgy and
Hiroyui in charge of pickup lines.
Gotta cut my wrists.
No, but to be fair, he does jump out of the thing without a parachute or without using the parachute.
Yeah. I actually got some good Gundam news, and then we'll go to the break.
Yes,
because remember he like wipes out and then he just like puts his bone back into place like.
Yeah, the Wing is ridiculous in a very good way. By the way,
yeah. There's parts in it that are really entertaining in their like absurdity, like fucking General Septim being shot in the head after he's fucking dropped out of the plane.
Just to make sure he dies.
Yeah. Lady Un is fucking sadistic, man.
We're at 40,000 feet.
Gundam
40,000 feet.
Gundam 0080 in Japan is coming out on Blu-ray.
Finally.
Which means eventually it'll come out here.
Where's that? Yeah.
That makes it sound like we're going to go to a commercial break on Fox. Speaking of commercial breaks,
Bernie Burgers in HD.
We're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Bernie Burgers.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Dedicate that one to Bill O'Reilly.
Just a bunch of hamburger.
He won't be doing it live. People act like that really cut him down.
I'm sorry. Like here's my thing. I just want them to make an OVA where we're like. Here's what I'm wondering: what the fuck happened to Al Izuhara? What happened to that kid? What's going on with him?
Now he's a masked guy.
Yeah. That would be just the to reveal in one episode is like it's some OVA. Oh, we're being accosted by another masked person. We don't know who it is. And it turns out it's Alfred Izuhara, and he's really mad.
Dun dun dun. Wow.
Goes out and joins Zeon because they killed his friend.
Yeah. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Precipitation is at 50%.
And now you're local on the 8s. Currently in your area. 57 degrees under clear skies.
Sunny afternoon, Sunday.
Your 7-day forecast.
It really does have that effect. Tonight, dark. That's an old Carlin bit. Continued darkness, followed by scattered light in the morning. That's a great joke. It's like, and now for a partial score, home team 6. It's like, that doesn't tell you anything. Did you check out that thing I posted?
So I'm looking. Well, yeah, I checked it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at this the old Toonami lineup. The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh yeah.
If you you remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
I did not understand the purpose of that show. Didn't get it. All our adventures happen in the virtual world. So what? They don't matter? Nah, they really don't matter. Also, the main villain in that show looked like a child molester. Wow, yeah, the show looks awful. This is some CG that did not age well.
Yeah, the Adventures of Johnny Quest thing. Now it would probably just be considered like insensitive or something somehow.
Well, you know? they have a vaguely Indian/Middle Eastern dude named Haji.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way that's gonna stand up.
Didn't like Family Guy or something make fun of that?
I think so.
Like make some kind of like bomber joke or something. I'm surprised they didn't get in a lot of shit for that.
I forgot to mention how awesome the monster designs for Mega Ranger were. They're actually my favorite for Super Sentai. Or one of my favorites.
You know, we're just talking about the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. You ever watch that show?
I remember that a little bit.
My condolences.
Yeah. It's fucking bad.
You know what show I do remember?
Back when they thought they could do CG and they really did not know how to. They didn't know how to do CG that aged particularly well.
Oh, that was the 90s one, you mean? Not the...
Yeah, the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest was the name of the show.
Oh, okay.
All of the adventures take place in a 3D virtual world for some reason.
There's some pretty funny things. Hey, check this out, guys.
That show and Max Steel that both had CG that really did not age well at all.
Check this out. Okay, I'm on my timeline now, and it says 200 retweets, and I'll nut on a Kanata figure.
Is that sneaky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking like, I love how you knew who it was just by that vague description.
I'm retweeting that.
He'd probably do it too. He'd probably just get plastered and fucking do it. He's that kind of guy.
I only joke about that, but I'm actually very careful about the cleanliness of my figures.
Oh, yeah, I'll dust these things all day.
What was that? I'll give you a torrent later for O-Ranger versus Cock Ranger or Anubis later.
Sure.
It'll be even in Blu-ray quality. So you see the monster licking the schoolgirl, and you'll see what I saw 20 years ago, and your eyes will be like, "This is a kid. This is for kids." That's what you'll be saying. You're like, "This is for kids."
They did the same thing for Strike Witches.
Well, Strike Witches is
that show won a family award.
Oh yeah.
I know. That was kind of my joke there.
See, that's what I love about Japan. Like they don't care as much. Like, although, like, again, the times have kind of changed, unfortunately, where you're probably not going to see content like what I just described in modern, but kind of like how the original broadcast of Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Z Kai kind of edited out some of the blood, and this was the Japanese version.
I know. They just streamlined it in general, which is basically, it's like It's Dragon Ball Z if it didn't have filler.
Yeah, but there was the part, I remember the part with like when they were fighting Raditz in the beginning, and the original drawing had like a lot of blood on Goku, and then the redone, like kind of just had, took that away.
To be fair, that entire battle was basically like, what, 2 or 3 episodes, and it was condensed into like,
an episode. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Some things were like redrawn because the original prints were gone.
Mm-hmm.
The original negatives for that particular scene is gone. Yeah. Japan always has a weird like sort of issue with like archivalness in their media.
Archivalness.
Except for
archivalness.
Well, I don't know what to call it. The archival of the
archive.
Archive of material.
Archival quality, something like that. I don't even know.
The ability to store their media after,
Yeah.
That's why I knew. You know what? They have 0080 will come out on Blu-rays. They're just waiting because it's Gundam.
Bitch, we got this stored on a microfiche.
All right, ready on second segment.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. So this episode, we're asking why. Why in general? Really, what we're going to start off is why anime in particular.
I'll tell you why. Look.
See, you can't do that though, because
this is the concept
audio.
of an audio podcast is that
yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Satan.
Okay, so you're now a gay guy.
But yeah, the real reason that I proposed this topic is because I think it's really important that people think about and understand why they like the things they like.
I like the deep stories and intricate plot lines that anime has, and how it really tells the socio-cultural play of what's going on within the time.
Actually, no, they don't like that.
Yeah.
NTR's answer: boobs and butts.
No. It's a no. First off, I commend your comic book guy imitation. Which I don't know if that's what you were going for. But
I wasn't even going for that. I was just doing the general like pretentious Western fan base guy, which is basically comic
book guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my default voice for like the pretentious,
Yeah. Most of them have a British accent.
For some reason.
Even if they're not British.
Look like comic book guy. Okay? A lot of them look like...
a lot of them are skinny as rails though, too.
Well, it's okay. They're either really fat.
They
or really
look.
skinny,
They either look like Movie Bob or a Dachau victim.
Yeah. Which I shouldn't even do a judgment thing on that, because that's not really, you could look like whatever and be, that's not related to your personal character.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm only like that with people who make fun of the appearance of other people. Like, as soon as you make fun of the appearance of another person, and if you don't look like Adonis, all bets are off.
Well, it's just funny. The people that tend to call out the other, then we see what they look like, and you're like,
oh yeah, really? The people that drop like neckbeard comments and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They end up looking like fucking, horror stories from the gymnasium. like a scrapbook.
But yeah, so why anime? So
Why
why
not?
anime in particular? of all the mediums in this planet, why anime in particular?
Let's see here. I guess that goes back to when you first discover it. It's kind of one of those. I mean, it has sort of that. You're dipping your toes into kind of an alien sort of thing.
See,
it is
here's
that
the thing with me though, because like back in the day, I didn't really draw a distinction between anime and like regular cartoons that I liked.
See, I was the same way because a lot of the stuff that I like, again, because my introduction was kind of the same as you guys, but also a little different because it depends what part of my life are you talking about. Are you, my early childhood where I was watching things like, I don't know if you ever heard this, Attack of the Super Monsters, which was this thing where it was a half anime, half live action. But I didn't know it was Japanese. It just cool, when you add age, whatever gets your attention. But other stuff too. I mean, of course, like Transformers and other robot toys that were imported, that were brought over.
Mm-hmm.
Even the toys for GoBots, not the cartoon, just the toys. All right, let's make that distinction.
Doozy bots?
Well, no. Actually, Gundam will. Here's the thing: Gundam will play into this what I'm about to say because that's kind of also how I discovered Gundam. Was it through the anime? I want to see the anime for. I didn't see the anime until, like most people, Gundam Wing on TV. With the exception of, I did have a couple of comic issues that were in English, and they were of 0083.
Ooh.
Aha. At least you didn't have to hear magic.
It was basically like a sort of screenshots taken and made into a comic.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of thing. No, but I discovered Gundam through, the model kits. And that's why I talk about like the Gap plant and how in the instruction sheets there's what's her name?
I know I have the character in my head, but I don't know
Rosamia.
Who it is? Rosamia.
There's line art for Rosamia, and my brain couldn't figure out. Okay, this robot, this Gaplant, obviously looks like a bad guy robot, but then I see this pretty girl who's the pilot, and my brain couldn't figure out that that you know what I'm saying, because I was so used to like the sort of bad guys looking like that.
It's a good thing a nice person wasn't offering you candy.
All right, I make it sound terrible, but at the same time, it's I couldn't, I was used to the very like bad guys looking like instead of like normal people type of thing.
Bad guys looking like Yazan Gable.
Yeah, like well. Here's the thing: I had the kit for the F91 kit for Burger Gyros, which is I know what a name, which is piloted by the character that's supposed to be that looks like Char, but has the patch. Zabine.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, look at it like that. I was like, okay, that's obviously a bad guy character.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where some creative endeavors are kind of condescending, and that we got to give them a snidely Whiplash mustache so they know they're evil. Yeah.
I mean, look, they like today,
kind of shit,
Yeah, I mean, think about it today. It's kind of ridiculous the way my how I saw these things. But again, I had so little context. I had none. I was just, cool shit. I actually did know about the story Gundam eventually because I did read when I was in 7th grade, I read. This is hilarious. I read the second novel to the original Gundam trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing
introduced to the show, to this franchise with completely no context in the
that was
middle
the one
of
that was
everything.
available. Well, here's the thing. That was again, I wasn't the best at English, if you imagine. But here's the thing. That was a tough read, but it wasn't all my fault. It was a tough read because several factors. One, as you said, it was the middle of a 3-part book.
That'd be like popping into the second Lord of the Rings book.
No pictures other than the cover. No pictures other than the cover, so I had no context for what they were talking about. I thought the gun tank was a literal gun tank.
It's like a tank destroyer. It's just a big gun on treads.
And it was like before they had the proper romanization for these things, it was stuff like Shar was written as Shah, S-H-A.
Okay.
Zaku is Zach, Z-A-K.
Is Zach? Yes.
No, when you said Shah, I was just thinking of the fucking dude from Iran.
The Shah.
The Shah, yeah, exactly.
And the third, it's because it's Tomino writing the book.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and we know how Tomino writes.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't entirely my fault. I was only able to barely understand what it was talking about. I was like, okay. You know, I did know about the new type things. I did understand like the new type.
What does a Yoguk look like?
What?
I'm saying, like, reading the books, it's like, what the heck is a Gelgoog?
I don't even think the Gelgoog is in it. Here's another thing, because it actually has very few of the mobile suits that are actually in the series.
Oh.
Like the Tomino novels for the original Gundam, for the 3 movies, are like even more reduced to like the real
sounds awful.
To the real robot. I know he has there's a Char's version of the Rick Dom in that version.
Decent. Not a particular fan of the Rick Dom, but it's a good mobile suit.
So if you ever see like kits or models, you see like a red one, and now you know where it's from. It's from that.
Oh yeah, anything red is either Char's or Johnny Ryden's.
Yes. Okay, so back to getting like why anime. Well, again, because well, you want to go, or I guess I could continue watching. I was always watching cartoons, but again, because of my early imprinting for watching robot stuff, it kind of like led into that and stuff like
Right.
the Guyver. You know, when I like as far as like real anime. That was like that's what I consider my first real anime, which is an anime with a Japanese opening. Even though the rest of the show was dubbed, but as far as like an anime, that was. But here's the thing: I thought like a lot of stuff I eventually saw would be I would come to know as OVAs, but I didn't know what the OVA was. If it was like multiple episodes, I thought it was like a series on Japanese TV. Oh, this is what Japanese people watch on TV. They watch the Guyver with lots of blood and you know, or MD Geist because it was a one shot. I thought that was a movie. Oh, this is what people watch in Japan. You know, MD Geist. You know, you
go to the theater and watch this.
Well, okay. In my case, I think what drew me to it was hang on, there's interference here.
Czech Republic.
Yeah. So basically, God damn it.
You saw God damn it.
While we're sorting that out, I'll talk about mine. Back in the day, because again, early Toonami generation, back when Moltar used to host it. So that was really only like half anime back then, because it had Robotech and Voltron, but it was also like the real adventures of Johnny Quest and stuff like Thundercats. So back then, I didn't really have a concept of this stuff being all that much different from what we had over here. And like VZ said, my first real anime was really Tenchi Muyo, because that was something that I understood you really wouldn't see this kind of show get made over here.
That really is like the most different out of all the other at that time, like the other.
Yeah, exactly. Because like we had shows with robots, and we had shows with young people going around and doing action stuff, and we had shows about all the stuff that you see in anime. It was obviously executed a bit differently in anime, but Tenchi Muyo was the first show that we really had access to in the Toonami paradigm that was that much different.
Were you drawn into the art the way I was too?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's another thing. Like, I know it's just the way anime looks, that even if it wasn't necessarily all the time like fluid animation, it would at least would be well detailed.
Yeah, what really drew me in personally were the character designs.
Well, that too. I really liked seeing, yeah.
Because we had they're all, but what it comes down to it for me is Tenchi Muyo and brought, and this is what it comes down to when talking about why anime. Tenchi Muyo really brought something different to the table that you don't really see produced over here, and that's that kind of the zany 90s harem comedy. You're not going to see that out of the US. And in general, as far as anime goes, the reason I'm so drawn to it in particular is because you see a whole lot of stuff that you just don't see in any other medium. Because like there's a reason we use that word. There's a reason we have a word specifically for Japanese animation and not for French animation.
Right, which is interesting because that's where the word actually originates from.
Yeah,
you would never see like a harem situation in that.
Not likely, but okay. To add into that, since I'm thinking about it, yeah, I mean, I've always said my encounter with Sailor Moon was like that because.
Oh, I saw Sailor Moon in the day.
Yeah, because even after it was butchered and dubbed and all that stuff, you could still tell there was something odd about it compared to what else was being played.
Exactly.
Like it's like, huh? Like, because I mean, first and foremost, how can you not notice the seifuku?
Oh yeah.
I mean that alone is kind of a, you know.
Well, that and also going back to the Guyver. And the main girl in that was the first time I saw the seifuku, the sailor uniform, and I never, and it changed me forever.
Never went back.
Never went back. Thought it was the greatest thing.
And basically, amongst every other guy I know that was into this sort of thing, we soon developed an appreciation for legs.
Yep.
And short skirts in general.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't stopped to this day.
No.
I like how even though they tried to censor the fan service in Sailor Moon, there's still little parts of it that... Yeah,
they really did not fully succeed.
Yeah, like the one episode, remember there was the one girl who she was tied up in the bathtub?
Oh yeah. The thing that was like blasting the ice or whatever.
Yes. It was like the slime stuff or something. I thought it was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah. Not only that, but again, you didn't really see that kind of five ladies basically being the lead, and which was in and of itself kind of odd. I mean, compared to anything else that I'd seen at that point.
Well, I was familiar with, like, again, Power Rangers and a little bit with Sentai, even though it would be wild to I see that.
Oh, yeah, but before then, they never had the all-female Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I didn't watch stuff like that. So again, because I prided myself on not getting the shit beat out of me. What can I say? I went to a ghetto school.
Me, I was like, I'm gonna watch what I like anyway. I don't care.
Nah, you would care. You'd get a switchblade pulled on you. Yeah, so like when I say that, that's not trying to be hyperbolic. I mean, it really was bad.
Kind of makes me want to fucking go to these places and stomp people out. It's like, really? You're gonna pull knives on people for watching cartoons?
Nah,
Strangers,
it's
really?
actually it would just be because they'd see you as a mark at that point.
So fucking motherfuckers coming up in here trying to jack people for watching the wrong cartoons.
No, that would just be the
like,
pretext. That's not really why they would do it.
That'd be like if Twitter like started gangs. You know how hilarious that would be if Twitter started like
the
tried to
One gang.
Yeah, like started started actually causing problems between people for watching the wrong anime.
Yeah, they're doing like the Bloods and Crips thing, where there's like
javelin.
There's like turfs, and you know the people are all dressed up like
Asukas and the Rays
with Monica bandanas and shit.
The Asukas and
like
the
Otaku Mafia. Like they have gang signs.
Otaku Mafia.
Like Otaku Mafia.
Yeah. Okay, so beyond that though, I started renting stuff at Blockbuster. You know, for those who don't know, for all the kids listening at home, Blockbuster was a place you could rent videos from before Redbox.
I did too, but my story is a little weird. Where I don't know why, but I kind of stopped. Like I didn't over pursue. Like I felt like I should have rented more during those days than I did. I
completely missed out on that era.
Well, in any case, they used to have like these deals where you could rent so much for you'd put X amount of dollars down for like a membership or something, and you would get free rentals and all this other crap.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what I would do is I'd raid the section, which was wonderfully called Japanimation.
Oh yeah, that's another relic of a past era. Back in the day, they called it Japanimation and not.
I did rent MD Geist, both 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Akira, Ninja Scroll, even some kind of like Devil Hunter Yoko.
Yeah, there was also stuff that this was before I had like satellite, so I didn't have any cable. I was actually someone I knew, actually 2 different people. I saw Dominion Tank Police from
that was there too at one point. I know.
Yeah, so I saw a recording of that, and the other thing I saw a recording of was of Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, I saw that on TV. I had no idea it was anime. way back when. Also saw like Birdie the Mighty and some other stuff.
Oh, I saw that on the Action Channel.
Which, by the way, it's a fun one, but that dub is bad.
Yeah, it's not very good at all.
What, have you seen it?
Yeah, 'cause that was back when I was in high school and I was watching anime. Like every morning, I'd go watch a bunch of anime on demand before school. So Birdie the Mighty was one of those I saw during
the main male character has the most obnoxious voice.
That was the first anime I saw. The thing where in order to get to the school that they want, they have to look up and see the same number that's on their card.
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing I saw with that.
Yeah, because that's the same one I think where she jumps up really high and grabs that balloon that escapes.
It was the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert. She kills him by accident. That's kind of the idea.
Actually, listen, we're talking like the late 90s now. I actually saw a lot of stuff on the Sci-Fi Channel that I wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah, because they used to play movies and stuff every once in a while.
Yeah. Stuff like the first Golf Force. They had Akira on there, even though I actually saw it a little bit before that.
Is it just me, or do you remember when they used to market it that on those like call now number things?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I was going nuts, and it was like, was that just like a fever dream that
I remember I saw a commercial for like.
Yeah, because it's like when people would have you like try to buy into like a Columbia House deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Time Life or some shit like that.
The new art form.
Yeah, exactly. Which was always funny because you'd look at it and be like, "This isn't new." I mean,
now looking back, I was like, yeah, it's stuff from like the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even new when they did that. Anyway, but
tech.
Yeah, that was the way they sold it. Like it was some kind of like futuristic, high tech kind of
cyberpunk
new movement kind of thing.
Yeah. What was the other ones? Oh, Rogan Z. That was another one I saw. I actually recommend that movie that not enough people know about.
Right.
See, I've heard of that, and I keep hearing about that, but I've never actually seen it.
It's really good. It's a kind of like a movie that at the age, let's say you see it and you're young, you're like, hurry up, why don't they just let the old guy die? Because that's what it's about. It's about like the aging population of Japan, and this old man's hooked up to like this a futuristic electronic bed that eventually the AI on it gains the personality of his deceased wife and goes around amok around the city and starts like and then it like it assimilates other machines, and then the military sends the military version of the same program thing, and then it starts doing shit.
That is so Japanese.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, not only does it sound awesome, but it also sounds like one of those things that doesn't completely end up being coherent. And you know what I mean? Like how 80s OVAs and shit, they'd have like these really crazy stories that would have these leaps in logic that didn't quite make sense.
Well, the leap in logic.
80s OVAs were constructed just so they could make stuff that looks cool happen.
Yeah, and things blow up and whatnot. Yeah, exactly.
The character designs were done by.
It's like, how else did we end up with Megazone 2-3?
The character designs were done by Ultimo, so it looks very Akira-ish, actually.
Right. But I mean that's an angle too. The cool factor, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's like okay, things blowing up. I mean, especially if you look at it from when you were, I don't know about you guys, but I got into it around 11, 12.
Same as me. Yeah.
I mean
10, 11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, what's not to like here? Lots of things blowing up. Mechanical weaponry, robots.
Well, I think it happens the same. The reason that happens to all of us, the same age, even in different eras, is because kind of like you look at like what the Western media kind of comes out with. Not that you just totally disregard, because I was watching stuff like the Disney Afternoon, which I still like Darkwing Duck and or later on stuff like on Fox and WB like Animaniacs and Batman the Anime Series, but something like you still kind of like have a taste for like animation and cartoons, but you want something that reflects you growing up a little bit. If that's what I mean. No,
yeah,
I mean,
I kind of get what you're saying.
No, I think there's, I mean, certainly when you're a young teenager or a little before, there's certainly that element of, things are being just like blown up, being gore.
Oh yeah.
Breasts. I mean,
I was about to say, my thing was always cute girls and nudity.
Yeah. I mean,
the shower scene,
the completely shameless, like tits bouncing up and down. It's interesting to note how it was all downhill after that.
Oh yeah. Once you start, you can't stop.
What's funny is like
it's worse than Pringles.
The funny thing is, like, again, I have that thing that I'm so glad I scanned because I don't have the physical anymore. The thing from Flux magazine that just gives these like short little iconic reviews of like of like most of the anime that was available at the time, and this was like 1995. And it's weird. It's like they thought almost the same way a lot of the people that review anime today. In a lot of ways,
long-running paradigm in the anime fandom.
Well, to be fair, Flux wasn't specifically an anime magazine.
Oh, I know.
Flux was basically just a media magazine. They had music shit in there, and
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was kind of a potpourri magazine or something. Just for counterculture kind of shit. From what I can remember, I could be off, but I distinctly remember a cover that had like Wolverine on it.
I think that was the same issue I had too.
Because it also had like I think some Megadeth feature or something on there. But I might be remembering it wrong.
But yeah, my whole thing, because that was around the time I started getting into the internet, so I started researching more and more of this anime stuff, and I started like around when I was like 11, 12 years old, I started getting into Inuyasha, and that was a big thing for like the next 2-3 years of my life.
Takahashi is happy with you.
And then I started, yeah, exactly. So then I started looking up stuff like Love Hina, and so it would take me quite a while to actually watch that series, but in the meantime, I knew all the characters, I knew the setting and the synopsis and whatnot. I played the crappy dating sim game on Newgrounds.
Holy shit. Newgrounds fucking flash games.
But listen, I played the Love Hina dating sim before watching Love Hina. I played the Ava Newgrounds dating sim before watching Evangelion. And I played the Galaxy Angel Newgrounds dating sim before watching Galaxy Angel.
Okay, I got a bigger one for you. You're gonna love this. Fucking GeoCities and Angel Fire website.
Yeah. So you want to know where I got all this Inuyasha research and all these photos I'd saved to my computer back in the early 2000s. Like GeoCities and Angel Fire.
Like you'd go there and it would take forever to load because they would have like some fucking like motion image in the background, like just repeated over and over again.
Like
a fire gif,
like a tile,
or just like Vegeta powering up or something like that.
They had the fire gif. They had the animated stars background that was just like a 16:16, but they tiled it, and they had a gallery, which is really 12 images, but back then that was a lot. A gallery of.
And it would take a minute to load.
It would take like 5 minutes to load.
Yeah, it was horrible
because the internet was terrible back then.
It was even worse if they had embedded music like a MIDI or something in there. because it would be like it would take even longer to get going, and then it would be like some fucking like Rock the Dragon remix or something.
Always too loud.
Oh yeah. There was no volume control whatsoever. So that reminds me of just not to get on too much of a tangent, but one of my this was in junior high. One of my buddies we were in the library and he was looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like some kind of Sega video game type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he left the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was a mistake because I was in a trollish mood. Because there was a website way back when where it was a troll website where if you went there, it would just kind of do the thing where it would refresh every so often, and it would be really hard to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like you couldn't just like hit the back button or any of that kind of crap because of the way it worked. And it basically just had this embedded soundbite of somebody screaming, "Hey, I'm looking at gay porn," really loud. And we were in the middle of the library. So what I did was I set it up like that and I hit the button and then I bailed really fast. And like by the time he came back to his station, because he had left the library, he went up to the station and it's just repeating that on a loop.
I remember
he got all kinds of shit for it.
I remember when I was 11 and in Sam Goody seeing the anime.
I used to buy anime there too.
I didn't buy any of that there, but I do remember.
Expensive as shit.
Yeah,
by the way.
that's exactly why. I remember seeing Bubblegum Crisis, the first episode, for like $30.
Wow.
I remember seeing like Evangelion when it was brand new, when they were just like carting it over here, and it'd be like, hey, why don't you get a sub copy of the latest Evangelion? It's only $30.
And it was like
for two episodes. And it's just like, holy crap! People bitch now about this stuff.
People think the Platinum Collection is expensive now.
Oh, fuck that!
It's like you get a whole series for like $40-something. You get,
Yeah, I mean, like these are people that clearly did not deal with any of this.
Now,
holy crap! I used to rent it a lot more than buy stuff, just simply for the fact that I couldn't fucking afford it. And this was before, torrents or any of that crap. So you were at the mercy of what was available, and what you could afford. And back then it was ADV Films, it was Central Park Media.
Rest in peace.
Streamline.
They didn't put out a whole lot, but we also had there was a couple other ones too, wasn't there? There was manga.
US renditions.
Yep.
But yeah, you didn't say manga right. You got to say manga.
I hated that.
Seriously, do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube and look up the UK ads for manga. And
I think it's the one where they have like Celtic Frost in the background.
Yes.
Which no disrespect to Celtic Frost, they were a big deal, but this is completely bullshit and not in any anime. That was when they were trying to market it. They were trying to pitch it in a way that really didn't reflect reality.
Oh well, it skewed reality because of like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It didn't really reflect what anime is actually like.
It was all like OVAs and movies, and it was all like, again, it was the hyper violent OVAs and and stuff
right,
like.
Which again, it did not reflect reality. These I don't like to say they're outliers, but they were kind of cobbled together from the era, but not really not representative of everything that was actually going on.
It was like Akira, Vampire Hunter D. I don't know if that was Ghost in the Shell by then, or
that was 95, 96.
Yes, that might have been a little later, just slightly. This was more like the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was all that type of stuff. Yurusaka Doji was in there.
Oh, okay. Does everybody remember the old Anime 18 trailers they used to have? Not the intro, the trailer where it's playing the Genocider music.
Yes.
Where it's basically just shows girls getting pounded by tentacles or tendril-like things. Basically, pretty much the entire way. While it's playing the Genocider soundtrack in the background, which, by the way, is very fitting. For those who don't know, I would say to go look it up on YouTube, but there's no fucking way they'd ever be able to show that. That you're not gonna find that on there. I'll just say that. Speaking of which, that was one of the earlier ones I did see at Retsuka Doji, because that was one of the ones I rented. It was just had no idea about it at the time.
I don't know when I saw it. Maybe it was late high school I saw it, but it was the movie version first. Yeah,
it was. And I brought it home. I get to that first scene. You know it one. You know the one. I don't think I need to explain it to anybody. First off, I gotta point out, I love its depiction of their version of hell. because like when it first starts, you just see all the fire and the demons fucking.
You seriously need to take the part from the beginning, the narration,
the little spoken part. That's awesome.
And just have it for our show.
That's a good idea, actually. That intro is pretty sweet.
Oh,
that intro is pretty sweet. Yeah, exactly. And I love he like busts the like heart thing or whatever and like drinks it, and then like he makes this fucked up like noise and face at the screen.
I was like, ah!
Yeah. It's like I knew right then. It was like, okay, this is cool. and then it gets to that first. Okay, then it transitions to that fucking basketball music, which is there's no way to say it. It's cornball. It
fits the error, though.
Yeah, it's anyway. It does, but it doesn't mean it's listenable. But no, and then of course it goes to the eventually it moves to the nurse's room and shit gets real. In a very, very disturbing way if you weren't expecting it.
I don't think I did heavy consumption of anime until the 2000s.
I honestly think after that scene, I actually did stop it and go, "What the fuck did I just see?" and like, do I even want to continue watching this?
No, but I think it like in the early 2000s was kind of like when I was watching a lot more. Like before torrenting, I was buying like just DVDs. Sight unseen, mostly of older stuff that I always wanted to see.
Right.
That's how I saw stuff like Zermeyer and Appleseed. Not the CG movie, the 88 OVA one.
Right.
Actually, I also remember renting a lot of stuff from my school library. That's how I saw all of Ava finally. Actually, I saw Ava when they had that. I originally first saw Ava when they did that Robot Week on Cartoon.
Yes, Giant Robot Week.
That was such a great idea.
That was the first time I ever saw Nadesco.
In which case,
I saw Ava. First time I saw Nadesco.
Yeah, I think I had seen those before then. I mean, I know I had Ava.
They also had that one, I think it was called No, not Gunder. What was the one with the robot with the really large, not Big O, but the one with the really large arms?
Godaner?
No, not Godaner.
Did they? I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know for sure.
What's funny is they made a Chogokin of that couple years ago, and I can't remember.
Dygard,
that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Dygard, it was Gigantor, it was Nadesco, and it was Evangelion.
Right.
They just picked some freaking random ass episodes of Nadesco.
What's funny about the Ava was they put on they censored the part when Misato was in the bath.
Yeah, naturally.
Of course they did.
They put like a fake swimsuit, a digital swimsuit.
They did that in the Tenchi Muyo episodes too, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did. They also did that in Outlaw Star.
This came later, and I only know it because of the pictures, which were really wince-inducing. But when they actually did show Gundam Seed, they made the guns with these fucking ridiculous lasers.
Oh yeah, guns.
Those looked really stupid.
And that was kind of like around the big boom of anime.
Yep.
In general.
Sure was.
When they were putting a lot of anime on.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, I distinctly remember, like, after Gundam Wing, they had things like Blue Submarine 6.
See, one thing I'm glad about that era was they were putting a lot of that stuff on the Encore Action. That's how I saw stuff like the Pat Labor movies.
Right.
They had a lot of Birdie the Mighty. Mentioned the first episode had a lot of other stuff, actually.
Right.
Vampire Hunter D, actually, which I saw originally, but then it was cool to re-see that.
Right. Let's see what else. To continue on about interest, I think over the years though, what's actually I don't know kept me here, if you will, besides some of the more obvious things, is I love watching how it's kind of morphed and shifted and moved around. And it's interesting, like even when it moves into a direction I particularly am not super into, there's always still stuff I can pull out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, I'm not into like, XYZ type that's being pushed around now, but there's always the exceptional ones that you can pull out that are interesting in spite of that, or even and whatnot. And plus there's just a lot of variety in general. You can kind of dig in, find everything from sci-fi, rom-coms, horror.
Well, that's what's great about now is you don't necessarily have to watch the brand new thing, because now we live in a time where it's fairly easy to get most stuff. You can find something to like, anything.
I mean, but that's now. You didn't have that luxury way back when.
Oh, of course not.
Exactly.
Which is funny. I actually have
almost every show that comes out nowadays.
I have a great thing that I clipped that someone posted, and I don't know if I should read this now or save it for the third segment.
We'll save it for the third segment. I know what you're talking about. We'll save it for the third segment.
I must. This needs to be read on the show.
Okay.
It's great. It's such a like. You'll see.
It speaks to how little things have changed.
Oh, okay, yeah. But right, the difference between then and now is then you, at least I think so. Again, you were much more at the mercy of what was out there.
Yeah.
You didn't have nearly as much choice. It was just like, hey, this is what's here. You have this or you have nothing.
I actually knew about Gal fairly close to after it finished airing in '98, which was goes back to me. We're talking about like when I used to buy Sentai tapes, and yeah, one of the tapes I bought had 2 episodes of Gal on it, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this. What is this? And I that's how I saw her, and I got a couple episodes starting from the beginning. So that was cool to see again, and now it's like we live in again the day where these things are easily available.
Way back when trailers actually were important. I mean, like at the beginning of your shows, because it would give you ideas of other stuff to watch.
It was also a luxury, an extreme luxury, if you saw an entire show. You know what I mean? Like
especially if you were renting it.
The only way that you would really see an entire show was mostly through TV. Mostly. You
got to be tuned in at the right time, otherwise you'll miss an episode.
Yeah. Or like again, this was the average one, they had OVA. So but again, that's still not as long as like an entire 50-something TV series, and it was a luxury to be able to see every episode of that.
Right, like I said, you would like ADV Films or them always had trailers before their before their shows, and those would be like, oh, okay, you would jot that shit down, just like, okay, I'll take a chance and blind buy this or that. Which I've done it before.
The concept of blind buying, like that's another relic of a past.
That's something you don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't really see that.
Yeah,
anymore.
There's no necessity for blind buying anymore. You don't need to do it.
Nah, not at all.
There's so much stuff. There's way more stuff that I want to buy that I have seen than I can actually do.
Yeah, it's one of those. If I had a nickel.
Yeah.
I could actually afford to buy all these things.
Well, I like between back then and now, what's really changed for me is I've noticed just how different anime is from like everything else we're used to in almost any other medium. It's like back then, it was like they were showing Robotech and Gundam Wing and stuff, and it wasn't really doing that much for me because I'd already been used to like American action cartoons in like Johnny Quest, like Thundercats and SWAT Cats and all that. But nowadays it's like, okay, there was actually some really intricate stuff going on in Macross and in Gundam that
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't have appreciated at that young age, but being now knowing what I know now, it's very interesting to me seeing that. But and realistically, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the combat and stuff, and all that's really nice. But a lot of what really interests me about Gundam in particular is the politics and is the character dynamics going on with that.
No, you go.
As opposed to like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, well, yeah. There would be plenty of politics going on if that show came back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No shit. That's great.
Off topic. There's an awesome Darjeeling figure that just went up for pre-order that I think you're gonna want. Anubis.
Who makes it?
Quest Q.
I actually might get that from my distributor then.
It's in
I
her
know they can
red
request you.
uniform. It's in her red uniform.
If I see it, I'll probably see it tomorrow, or it might already be up yet. I'm not sure. I'll check.
All right. Another thing. You're talking about like you were bringing up like Robotech and then seeing Macross.
Yeah.
I saw very little, not a lot, only teeny bits of Robotech not even when it was on Cartoon Network. I only seen a tiny bit. And same thing like with Voltron. I seen bits here and there in my life, but I didn't see. So I had interest in seeing both of those, but I just went with the original shows that were used for that because there was some nostalgia, but not enough for like the dubbed version. Yeah, if that, I wanted to see.
I get you. Well, it's
one
like
thing we're all forgetting.
If I watch Macross now, if I have any desire to watch Macross now, which I have plenty of, I don't touch Robotech anymore.
The only people that touch Robotech are the ones that are just so like because it's so attached to their nostalgia,
and
they're not watching it.
It's them and people who actually work at Harmony Gold.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was going to point out, and again, I don't know if Anubis ever dealt with this, probably not, but VZ might remember this. The same time as the GeoCities and Angel Fire,
yeah,
you had these really bad, low quality real player clips.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
no.
Yes.
Oh.
They were so bad. The audio and the visual quality was complete ass.
I got a better one. Windows Movie Player, was that it? Windows Media Player?
Windows Media Player?
Yeah, which is actually Transformers Car Robots from 2000 was the first like anime that I watched like the encodes, like watching anime online. To say,
but here's the thing: Windows Media Player still exists and it's still used.
Yeah,
Real
when
Player.
Was the last time
so
you used Real Player
or Real Audio or whatever?
Yeah. No, but I remember. I know what you're talking about with the clips.
That and QuickTime clips.
QuickTime.
Fucking QuickTime clips, because way back when you'd be. Especially if it was like around 99 or something like that, you'd be scouring looking for hentai clips and shit, And you would always get these really shitty, just abominable quality things out there, but you were happy to find them. which is sad.
At that point, I was still like didn't really have the concept of like at that point, early 2000s.
Yeah,
like around 2001 maybe. That's when I discovered like hentai images.
Yeah. You probably encountered fucking Eris Dies or something like that.
No, not at that. That would take a few years.
Oh, okay. Or I was gonna say downloading Bible Black off Kazaa or some shit. People are like, "What the fuck's Kazaa?"
Yeah, exactly. Keep it that way.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, don't bother. It's completely inundated with fucking malware.
I wasn't even aware it still existed.
Oh, it might, but if it does, I guarantee it's loaded down with malware.
Oh, of course.
It was good at one point when Napster was compromised. Of course, then you would always have to deal with people being cute and misnaming videos of into horrible fucking things, like trying to download normal porn and then you open it up and it's fucking like World War II, somebody getting their throat cut or something. It's just like,
I'm so glad that era's over.
And it's just like, yeah,
I'm just so happy that era has completely ended.
Yeah, it's pretty shit. But I mean, that was the original Rickroll there. You thought you were getting one thing, but you weren't. So, all in good. This is all meat spin. Or somebody just blasting you with fucking goatsy and lemon pardon pics.
Or Tub Girl.
Yeah, exactly. Those were a really big fan. Usenet people loved those.
So yeah, that's before my era.
That you would see that and ASCII porn.
What about the reasons we still watch?
Well, I kind of somewhat sampled that, and it's because the things I've always liked about it are still there.
Yeah.
You might have to dig a little bit or shift your focus. But the things I ultimately have always loved about it are still there and still there in spades.
The reason I still watch anime is because realistically, this might just come down to the fact that I watch so much anime specifically in proportion to all other forms of media, like all of the forms of passive visual media, that it just seems to compel me in a way that no other. Like,
I think that's kind of true.
I'll get emotionally moved by anime. I'll get viscerally excited by anime, and like
I think that's kind of true for me because.
To give you an example, the last film that I remember being that viscerally excited about was Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
like that very first battle of Pacific Rim, and lo and behold, that's the entire premise of that is supposed to harken back to anime.
Oh, of course it is.
So
clearly, that and monster movies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that whole. There's something about this medium, and a lot of it's the way the characters are done.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to see another medium that really focuses so much on characters, and I think that's a lot of what's different about anime between anime and other media.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. It is, it always was, and whatnot. Bleh, I fucking can't talk. It's always been, at least to me, about characters.
Because I think the same thing. Like, I watch very little like narrative storytelling like now, but I still watch like.
I was just about to get into that. Yeah, so it's like, and this is what bothers me when I see like anime critics focus so much on the narrative.
Yeah,
so
yes.
you're focusing on something. You're focusing on the same thing that everything else focuses on.
That narrative.
Why then are we? Why then do we deem anime special enough to have its own, to use a specific term to refer to it if we're just going to look at it like every other medium? It bothers me whenever people are in that paradigm, because it's like, is anime just another thing to you? Is anime just more animation to you, or is it something different? And fair enough either way, but if we're going to treat anime like it's something special, then maybe we should take a different approach. Plus, there's also the cultural divide to consider and whatnot. So what it really comes down to is, like, there's the heavy character focus. It's really personal, and it really impacts me in a way a lot of other media doesn't, because a lot of other media is so focused on telling a story. When a lot of anime is either focused on building characters and seeing characters interact, or creating a world and seeing how that world works and seeing how people handle themselves in that world.
Well, you know what they say. It's going right back to the old Aladdin. You know, I can show you a world.
And that's another thing that really resonates with me with anime in particular. A lot of anime has some really, really strong world building.
Here's another thing.
Even going back to Tenchi Muyo, great world building happening there.
Here's another thing. Where else can you see but in anime someone discuss how to eat a chocolate cornet for 8 minutes?
It still baffles me that entire conversation lasted a full 8 minutes. That said, that's better than Flowers of Evil, which had an 8-minute segment of these two characters just walking home. That's a third of the episode, by the way. These things are 24 episodes long, so a third of the episode, no dialogue, just these characters walking home.
Yeah, that's a little too art house for my taste.
Very much.
That's a little too art house for me.
I don't even consider it art house. That's just,
well, I'm sure the people who like it do.
I can't fathom enjoying that. I can't, unless you for some reason have preordained yourself that I'm going to enjoy Flowers of Evil regardless of its actual quality. Understand why you'd enjoy that particular scene. There's nothing going on. They're not doing anything. They're just walking home.
And no talking.
No talking. And it's not even like it's that these two characters had done something bad,
like profound,
and now they're both walking home. And so it's not even like it's a walk home and it's like focused on the characters' faces, and you can see like the end. I don't know, the
that's just padding for time.
It comes off as they're just padding for time,
which is fine when you're DBZ.
It's not fine when you're trying to tell the story.
I was
walking
kind of
home. Excuse me, I gotta take a whiz. Take a whiz on the side of the road. Okay, back to walking.
See, the thing though is anime will actually
that dynamic.
Pee on the ants.
The thing that's funny about that though,
the ants are drowning.
The thing that's funny about anime though is they'll actually show them do that.
Excuse me, I gotta go take a whiz. Oh, I'm peeing on these ants. Ah!
So that's my problem with Flowers of Evil. Didn't enjoy it very much.
Yes.
It defied criticism.
No, it really does not.
It defies criticism.
Does
it's
not
just
do
a
that
specialty product.
at all.
This
is fucking worse than an R.L. Stein book.
Are they still making books?
I have no idea.
Anubis turns on the TV, and the only anime available is Flowers of Evil and Red Line.
You know what? I'd actually watch Red Line before watching Flowers of Evil again.
Well, no. You guys are missing something. You don't even know what mistake you made with that sentence, do you, VZ? You said he turned on the TV.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't watch TV. And then a doorbell rings, and it's a package with 2 items. It's a Ayase figure and a Methys kit.
I hope whoever spent that money is independently wealthy enough to spend it on things that are going to be destroyed.
I was just thinking. Well, here's what it'll do.
Honestly, no. At this point, I'd probably just sell them.
I feel like I should almost draw that as a troll image for you.
Like, no. See, he'll put Ayase in the Methys, and then he'll shoot the Methys into a furnace,
like an MS girl. Ayase wearing like the Methys as like a armor.
It's bad squared. It's the worst of both worlds.
I should draw that. Just like send it to Nyan the magazine. Submit it like, and that's the cover. And it was just puts a frowny face like, like
he's not gonna put that on his cover. Come on.
You know, like
it's not going on the cover.
You know, like instead of skull crossbones, they have the new poison sticker that's like the puke green color with the.
No, I see.
You just put that on the cover.
See, for a minute, I thought you were going to suggest that the Methys should be the new poison symbol.
It works. In any case, we're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Let's hit that button. Thank you. Let's go.
Mango!
Dude, you sounded like an old man just evacuating his bowels.
Mango!
It's like, dude, get this guy some Pepto.
All right, so next segment. You want to read the thing, VZ, or should I?
Well, I was the one that found it, so I should read it.
Whatever. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it's funny. It was actually not the post. It was like a clip of a bunch of comments that someone put on the 4chan. But I took this one part because it's so good. It's like, yes, this person gets it. You know, not too many people that get it, but this person gets it.
Honestly, I would contend that there's more people who get it than people who don't get it. The bad thing is like the people who don't get it are the ones who are really loud. All the people who get it are just watching their fucking anime.
Do we have mail?
Let me check the mailbox. It is not looking that way.
All right, then we'll just talk about this. I think it'll be a good conversation. What is this from?
This is from that artist Moe shop I told you
about. That's right. I'm sorry about being pissy before.
I gotcha.
Mhm. You'll edit the beginning then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just as soon as this goes up on the site, I'll just remove it from YouTube.
All right. And then just if you want, cut that beginning part and then just put in the part where we start.
Dude, when he's
I told you, I'm just going to remove the YouTube version when the actual one goes up.
Okay. Hmm. All right. This is funny because some of the stuff the guy mentions in it, I've seen. Ready?
All right, ready on third segment.
Mm-hmm.
In 3, 2.
And we're back. No mail.
No
Right.
mail, but VZ had something. Go VZ.
Yes, I found something really funny and kind of just basically like because I'm the one that always browses 4chan, that I always find these types of things, and it was not necessarily a comment from there. It was obviously posted there once, but it was like a bunch of but anyway, it was a bunch of comments into one like image, and I just clipped this one thing because it need to be read.
Link
All
is
right.
going in the RFC now.
Okay. So I'm starting here. Old fag here, and by old fag I mean I was watching anime in the 70s. I seen shit like you wouldn't believe. Think the 80s were great, eh? Well, you bet you never saw shit like Root Search or Zigoi, did you? I've actually seen Root Search, and it's pretty. I've actually seen it. It's.
I
pretty.
saw Roots and thought like the one with the slaves. What's going on?
No.
Your name is Toby.
Root Search. Basically, alien. Think like Alien into an anime, only non-ending, and just at the 45-minute mark. That's it. We're done. How about an ending? No, we're done. Anyway, did you? Well, sure, there was some good series, but goddamn, there was some horrible eye-raping shit out there. Also saying the majority of shows are otaku pandering mo shit is the most worthless statement ever. It assumes 2 falsehoods. That's kind of spelled wrong, falsehoods. But anyway,
Yeah, it is.
that 1, otaku are the main market for anime, and 2, all they watch is moe shit. Since the 1980s, there have been 2 types of anime. Anime for general audiences and anime for hardcore fans of anime. General audiences got shows like Heidi of the Alps and Doraemon. Hardcore fans got shows like Bubblegum Crisis and Megazone 2-3.
Woo.
Back then, of course, you either watched family-oriented children's shows, you bought OVAs, or you shut the hell up. Now we have more options than ever before. You're butthurt because there aren't the dark, gloomy, psychological anime that Western audiences prefer. These anime have always been less popular in Japan. Sales of such series have always been poor, with rare exception. Ghost of the Shell is perhaps the most popular such show ever, and it had a poor following of only a handful of hardcore anime fans across Japan. The most popular shows have always been family-friendly, children-oriented anime. What are the top 5 anime in Japan? Ava, Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop. Sorry, sucker. It's Saze-san, Doraemon, Crayon Shin-chan, Chibi, Maruko-chan, and Extra. Usually a magical girl show like Pretty Cure or Jewel Pets. Or maybe just 1 week, a big 3 will break the top 5 with a special epic final episode of some fight they were having. Continue. Japan is and will always be the culture cute. Seriously, Google the culture cute and view results. Dark, brooding anime you think is the end and beat all perfect form of anime is so few and far between, it's hardly worth knowing. Seriously, the average Japanese person will know one such title, and that's Evangelion. Most shows you like and wish were produced more are mediocre successes at best. If there's a movie tie-in, they may make enough money to go and buy around a few beers after, but don't bet on it. Just look at K-On! I'm sorry it's an overused example, but that's because of its popularity. It hit the top 10 anime while it aired. That's absolutely phenomenal, especially for a production studio like KyoAni, which started out as otaku pandering shit like you described. You've proven already by your first post that you know nothing about the Japanese animation. No, you know nothing about Japanese animation, and you're upset that the shows you like aren't popular in a country that doesn't care. You learn to love anime in all its genres, or you'll be waiting 2 years between each new show you want to watch, just as it's been the last 30 years. Just think of what it's been like for me and my generation when you were to the video store and all you could find was copies of Windaria and Zillion. Zillion's on my watch list one day, by the way. It's on there. It's basically by the Sega Master System, the anime.
Which in modern times that's going to come across as really interesting.
Oh, even the guns that they use in the show, they're just the light gun that the Sega had. Anyway, going on, and you were happy with it. We went fucking nuts when Sailor Moon was put on TV because holy fuck, anime on TV. Super robot shows are among the most popular genre of anime. They are considered family-oriented anime, and Japan eats that shit up for breakfast. When a super robot show gets put on TV, it lasts anywhere from 50 to 100 episodes in length. The big two are called Gundam and Macross, which have been losing popularity as family-friendly titles. Besides them, few companies have ever made giant robot anime and has been successful beyond a 26-episode half-year run, or maybe a 13-episode run for Otaku at night or direct to OVA. You are foolishly comparing late-night otaku-oriented anime with family-friendly runs of super robot shows. Tell me, dear friend, how long was the last moe shit show you saw, other than K-On!, which was primetime nationwide Japanese TV and hit top 10 because of it? How about Toradora? 24 episodes is laughable compared to Gundam. How about Mayoi Neko Overrun, which I watched and hated? 13 episodes? Give me
I love how you had to explain that.
It is literally apples and oranges. It's why I made the statement that there have always been two types of shows, family-friendly and otaku pandering anime. You want family-friendly? Go watch Jewel Pet Tinkle. You want otaku? Go watch the latest late-night otaku pandering moe shit. There's a huge difference between the two. Stop getting them confused. And that is it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question about this since you seem to have found this.
Yeah.
How old is this?
Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know how old that was because it was like a clip from. It wasn't posted. That whole comment wasn't actually. It was in an image of a bunch of comments. But someone was, complaining. It was a thread. Started off as a thread about, I think it was about Cowboy Bebop. How come they don't make shows like Cowboy Bebop? And then someone just posted that, and had a whole bunch of these types of comments with what I just posted there.
It's from 2010, by the way. The date's on the top.
Oh, it is? Okay, I did not.
Okay, which isn't it sad that that's still relevant?
Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious how little things have changed? Isn't it hilarious how nobody has learned a thing in 7 years?
Obviously not. Probably not.
It's because it's like, can we please get past this paradigm? And realistically, when this guy goes on about your butt hurt because there aren't the dark, gloomy psychological anime that Western audiences prefer, that's actually a misconception from my observation. Western audiences just like anime. All the dark, gloomy psychological stuff is stuff Western anime critics like.
Yeah,
people Western anime it's religiously like.
Yeah, the dark thing was actually very. Also, the dark thing. Again, a lot of that was because of not all of it, but there was some of it was because of the 90s, people getting into anime through that era, like what we were talking about earlier.
people got into anime through a skewed view on the whole medium.
Again, because of
based on outliers in their own era.
Again,
this is why I rail so hard against introducing people to anime through Cowboy Bebop, because what you're doing is you're skewing their perspective on the medium.
Which is, it also kind of like plays into the era that I grew up with, where it was like, you were so kind of sick of seeing like Disney and wholesome, not necessarily Disney itself, but like animation being like wholesome. And then here comes, anime. It was like, animation could be dark and have blood and, nudity and such. And, at that age, especially for like, it plays right into that.
I think part of why I don't get that whole disconnect, even though I got into anime at that early stage, is that the first anime I watched where I really saw a difference between this and Western animation was Tenchi Muyo. So it took a cute girls anime to really solidify that this is different media from the stuff that I'm used to coming out of the US. So I literally grew up with cute girls anime. So when down the line, when I'm now watching Saikano and Eromanga Sensei, it doesn't bother me because I've been doing this since day one.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, the old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
It really bothers me though.
But I love the fact, I was watching anime from the 70s. He was saying,
yeah, exactly. So it's like, this guy posted this in 2010, and in 7 years, the paradigms haven't changed at all. What are you doing?
I just love the fact he mentioned Root Search, which again I've seen. Root Search is pretty. It's pretty bad. It literally is trying so hard to be like Alien, but literally at like the 45 mark, it just ends.
There's no no HR Giger,
Yeah.
to save that, huh?
No. Also, the fact that the alien form isn't really animated at all. It's just it's just an airbrush image. The only animation they do, the only image they do of the alien of any animation is just like tentacles. Other than that, the alien is just a still airbrushed image that they.
That almost reminds me of those really hokey fucking horror movies. Like when they don't actually show the creature thing, it's just kind of in the background. You see shadows and shit, and then eventually toward the end they do the grand reveal, and it's just like this.
It's always underwhelming.
Yeah, and it's always just some guy in a suit, and it looks really bad.
The grand reveal for Root Search is the fact that the main girl is a psychic and predicts that she and the main guy get out okay, which is why this movie has non-ending, because they kind of gave away an ending before the actual ending. So when they it just stops at the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, Miss Cleo, we got the point.
We ran out of time.
OVAs, man. OVAs, man. There was some great ones, awesome ones, and then there was some that, someone had to write a script for I guess, and then at the 45-minute mark, we just end here.
They'll figure it out. Did you really have to invoke a horrible image of Jeffrey Leonard?
Yeah, I was about to
say. That is a scary fucking video. And the scariest thing about it is the almost cartoonish, villainous way he's doing that.
Oh, what was great is a couple years later they followed up to that, where they found him in his home. And they give an interview again. First off, he had a bust of a bust of Hitler in his home.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as we all know, the Nazi regime was big on child molesters.
And he's still like, and apparently he has Asperger's.
No, of course.
Yeah. Which that still doesn't explain, like, maybe
that doesn't explain anything about the hat.
Well,
That says nothing.
No, but the way he like acts like a cartoon.
I just think he's fucking nutty.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It doesn't excuse that he's nutty. That's actually what I should have said. I
mean, that would be like if Charles Manson said, "It's okay, I've got Asperger's."
Is it about molesting young boys, Jeffrey? It's about molesting young boys.
And then he just starts like,
do it.
It's just
like mess.
For those who haven't seen that, you have to check this out. Like we're not even doing justice to it.
I also love
we're really
music in the background, like ding 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 ding.
Well, yeah, that's just like the hard copy thing, We're
like stock evil music.
It's like when you hear like the America's Most Wanted background music or Unsolved Mysteries, where it's just this is more unnerving than the actual content. Although in this case, no, that's not true.
Oh, so anything else about the thing I about the
all I'm saying is it's pretty disappointing to me that the paradigms have not shifted in 7 years. So let's do something about that in 2017, which we won't.
It's funny that he says like that he was like people like him at that time were excited about Sailor Moon because it was funny. Like remember. Like I saw Sailor Moon when it came out too, but I was actually watching stuff like Techno Man. I was really into that when that was airing because it's like a robot show on TV. A robot anime on TV.
And you know what? Here's the other thing with me.
Yeah.
This goes back to something I've been on for a while, where we have this cadre of anime fans now who seem to revel in dispassion, and like they wouldn't be able to exist at all were it not for these crazy passionate people who were into anime in the 70s.
Oh yeah, so it's like there seems to absolutely
we have the luxury of dispassion now, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this? But letting people like being dispassionate for no reason other than I watched a few things that I really liked back in the day because I have some sort of psychological, some sort of pathological psychosis with maturity in my fucking cartoon media.
Which even saying that out loud has to make you feel kind of like, what the fuck?
It sounds really stupid saying it out loud, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
So now what I have to do is shit on people who have accepted their nerd image and are fine watching cartoons about cute girls. So I gotta shit on that because somehow I think that'll get me more the media I want instead of perhaps either deciding to live and let live, or just deciding, you know what, I'm not that into this medium that I thought I was. So we can't get to that paradigm, but what we have to do is we're gonna be heavily dispassionate, but still post on anime forums and like review anime and shit, even though the number of anime we like is down into like the high single digits, and all we do is complain all the time about whatever moe show is out now.
That's another thing I noticed about the people, like what you said is, this sort of like I have to appear mature because I'm watching cartoons, but I have to appear mature, so I have to find things that fit.
To me, it just seems like insecure people piggybacking off the hard work other people did.
Absolutely. I'm so sick of that mentality. I'm so sick of that, because it shows that you really don't possess a spine. Like, you're not passionate enough about this stuff to stand up for it.
It also
like, people are gonna look at you
insecure.
weird because you're watching this weird cartoon stuff, but you're like, oh, okay, fine if you don't like it, but what are you doing? But they can't do that because they don't own spines. Like, they have no back.
It also seems like an incredible.
They have to reinforce their own sense of self by watching. And here's what it comes down to: by watching stuff that is already pre-approved by other people as being mature and psychological.
Must be. I don't know. It just strikes me as odd that your sense of self is basically reinforced by stuff other people are doing.
Well, like I said, it's an immaturity under the guise of I want to appear mature.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so insecure in what I like that the mere existence of an anime about like cute girls doing threatens my faux masculinity and maturity. If that
we hear in exactly what you're talking about. Here's the thing: a lot of these people love Fooly Cooly, but don't seem to understand that that's exactly what Fooly Cooly is about. It's about oh, I want to seem so mature and so grown up, not realizing that desire by itself is childish.
It's almost like that's what I was like.
I believe it was C.S. Lewis who pointed out that anybody who's wanting people to see them as mature can't possibly be mature.
That's what I also liken the tsundere archetype to be, if you think about it.
Because because the maturity level clearly hasn't reached the point to where they actually realize that doesn't fucking matter.
No, but I'm saying that's kind of almost likened to the tsundere. Where they want
to a certain extent. That's part of what I don't like about the tsundere archetype. Because a lot of the time it's that kind of. But
I get it.
That entire.
It's only cute, but it seems only cute in anime. But in real life, it would get annoying.
In real life, it get annoying as hell. But it's like, it's that sort of, you just can't accept things the way they are, and put on airs in order to make yourself look a way you aren't. Which and going on sort of a tangent with that, that's why I like the yandere archetype so much, because the yandere archetype is super genuine. She knows what she wants, and she'll kill people to get it. So you don't get more genuine than that. You don't get more real than
when keeping it real goes wrong.
When keeping it real goes wrong. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. The whole tsundere and the whole tsundere archetype kind of annoys me, because it reminds me of people who have to try and project maturity through their preferences and not through their actions and not through the way they carry themselves.
It's not like I like you or anything. I just didn't want you to starve, so that's why I gave you this half of my lunch.
Yeah, exactly, bitch. You made that lunch for me. Don't front.
But why do I like this guy so much? He gets on my nerves, but I can't let him know.
So that's the entire. That's my whole thing. It's like, these people love Fooly Cooly, but don't seem to understand that Fooly Cooly is about them, who are so enamored with the idea of maturity and the appearance of maturity and projecting maturity that they're immature in their execution of that.
That's also why I tend to be critical about, this will be my last rant, I'm critical about people like that are really into stuff that's edgy, because I used to kind of be like that.
Uh-huh.
Where, you know, you kind of grew up with that, you guys, especially you K guys, because you're of my, like, Mortal Kombat, and I liked it for the superficial level of, like, the gore.
Mm-hmm. Anubis, I actually have sent you something in the chat. The group chat, not the...
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the RCA like, oh. I'm saying, like... Okay, so this is the C.S. Lewis quote, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I'll just read this out real quick. Critics who treat adult as a term of approval instead of as merely a descriptive term cannot be adult themselves. To be concerned about being grown up, to admire the grown up because it is grown up, to blush at the suspicion of being childish. These things are the marks of childhood and adolescence. In adolescence, they are, in moderation, healthy symptoms. Young things ought to want to grow, but to carry on into middle life and even into early manhood, this concern about being adult is a mark of really arrested development. Read fairy tales in secret, and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I'm 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, of childishness, and the desire to be very grown up.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's what Fooly Cooley's about. That's what all this stuff about is, and that's what all this stuff. When you come down to it, it's like, oh, we want
power
mature
level
anime. Yeah, if hiding your power level, all this stuff that the anti-moe brigade and the vocal Western fandom does with regard to trying to project their preferences of anime and trying to down on people who are okay with liking cute girl anime. That's what all this comes down to. It's like, I want to look mature. And if you look at it, even if you look at their rhetoric, oh, finally, an anime I can show to my parents. It's like, why are you concerned about that?
Yeah, I don't understand. My parents hate this shit.
Well, it's not even the parents thing. It's, why are you concerned about what other people think of the media you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean,
so
holy crap.
Now what I'm questioning is, enjoy this media, or is this just another way for you to signal maturity? Is this another way? Do you genuinely enjoy this stuff, or are you just using it as a way to impress people?
Which I don't get that. I mean, I don't understand where that even comes from, because, like, how are you going to go up to people and be like, hey, I like this foreign, piece of animation. Look at me.
Everyone else thinks we're giant nerds, and it doesn't matter if you watch Cowboy Bebop.
No.
Whether you watch Cowboy Bebop or the Idol Master, it doesn't matter.
You're still a dork.
You're still a huge nerd to everyone else. Accept that and move on. Accept that you're a huge dork to everyone else in the world.
Or if you don't want that, perhaps it's time to not be a nerd.
Hey, because you know what? We don't have to be nerds.
Really, Anubis?
Football. But you understand how brainless a statement that is?
Well, sure it is. Because what if you like football too?
Because here's the thing. You understand how brainless a statement that is when you're talking about the gathering of people who collect toys.
Past the age of 10?
All right, and can we? And I'm not downing at all on the practice of collecting toys. That's cool in the gang. But can we please just accept what we do for what it is? Like, can we just understand that we that we all just do stuff. We all have these fringe interests. They're non-standard. Not a lot of people understand it, and there are a number of things we can do with that situation, but do is downplay who we are and what we do to please other people, because nobody respects that at the end of the day.
Nah, not really. I've always thought just the big middle finger is the way to go. which I know that sounds a little bit it doesn't come from a place of trying to I can't even think of the right word. It's that
trying
that
to be
comes,
a cultural ambassador.
Yeah, it comes from a place of leave me the fuck alone. I'm doing whatever I want.
Because I mean, like that's my approach when it comes down to it. I'm trying to be a cultural ambassador because I'm number one. I am in possession of a spine, and I know how to articulate what I enjoy about what I enjoy to other people. I feel like that's a lot. A lot of people are missing that, and as a result, they instead take this. Okay, I just have to be into only the aspects of this thing that other people approve of. And you're limiting yourself, and you're limiting yourself, and you're also in the process. And this isn't a necessary element of, but they do it anyway. You're also in the process making other people in this fandom have a bad time, and that's set against.
Yeah, certainly. They're the obnoxious, like almost pathological need to crap on people.
Nerd shaming. Shaming nerds.
Well, yeah, that's the funniest thing.
It's the nerd hierarchy paradigm.
Yeah, it's like they want to. It almost seems like they're trying to get free memberships to something awful or something. You know what I mean? Because you know how you have to pay to be a member.
God, something awful. I used to like that. I used to like that site.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, but they used to do like really funny the Photoshop Fridays.
I didn't think those were funny, but okay.
Yeah. Also, the hentai reviews were pretty amusing.
I always thought they were just a low rent version, what 4chan is now, and that's saying a lot.
Well, we know who goes to something awful now. Kind of like overtook it.
Well, yeah, but that just means that one group of people have been replaced with another one.
All right.
In any case, that's the show. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is sheislostcontrol.net/podcast. VZ stuff at vzmk2moe@wordpress.com. And check out the Bakugaijin show and Otaku Midnight, because both of those shows are very good. In addition, check out Iyashike. You can get that at iyashike.moe. And check out shinakiba.moe for all your half-naked anime girl figures, including that one Darjeeling figure that VZ you mentioned earlier.
That I just saw. Those look really good.
You can get at us on Twitter at TEAnubis, at VZMK2, at classic_kgods, and at NTR Radio. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
I'm VZ Mark II, and I want to touch Goldilocks with a 39.5-foot pole.
And even though the paradigms don't change for another 7 years every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.